The DJI OSMO Pocket 3 is without doubt one of the best, if not the best, pocket-sized camera for vlogging and YouTube. And while it may come extremely close to being that perfect content creation camera that we're all looking for, but before you go dropping your hard-earned cash, there are 5 things that I think you should know about. But the good news is that I found solutions for each of them, and I'll be sharing those with you in this video. The first issue we have to tackle is the lack of aperture control. I own multiple cinema quality cameras and lenses, and many times I prefer the Pocket 3 instead. But if this is your first camera, most likely you're going to be using it in the auto mode, which won't always give you the high quality look you're going for. Now, it's not that the Pocket 3 isn't capable of competing with some of those more expensive cameras, because it most definitely can. It's just that when you're in auto mode, your shutter speed fluctuates, making the motion in your videos look unnatural. To solve this, you simply need to put the OSMO Pocket 3 in manual mode, and make sure that the shutter speed is always double your frame rate. This is called the 180-degree shutter rule, and it'll ensure that you have the most natural looking motion in your videos. Unfortunately, the manual mode in the Pocket 3 doesn't allow you to change the aperture, which you'll need to do if there's too much light. So the only other way to get proper exposure and make sure that you don't blow out your highlights is to use ND filters, which act like sunglasses for your camera. Now, if you're a total beginner and have no clue what I'm talking about, don't worry. Just trust me that it's crucial to buy this set of ND filters. It's only $60 and I left links in the description below. The next issue we need to handle is that of digital sharpness. The OSMO Pocket 3 has a 1-inch CMOS sensor capable of filming beautiful 10-bit 4K video. It can also film 120 frames per second for buttery smooth slow motion. This sensor produces a detailed and sharp image, sometimes too sharp. Now, if you mainly shoot sports, real estate, or landscapes, the sharpness is great. But if you're like most filmmakers and prefer a softer, more organic look, then there's a few things that you need to do. First is to make sure that you're filming in D-Log. When shooting in D-Log, you get the creative control to color grade and add custom LUTs during the editing process. This makes for much better results as opposed to letting the camera bake everything in for you. Personally, I use DaVinci Resolve to color grade, but you could use Final Cut or whatever you prefer. Color grading is an extra step and requires a little bit of learning, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty straightforward. To speed things up, you can use custom LUTs. And if you're not familiar with what a LUT is, it stands for Lookup Table. Think of it as a plugin you add that automatically color grades your footage with a preset look. You can grab my cinematic LUT pack on my website for only $15, which has 11 custom LUTs in it. I've been using them on my OSMO Pocket 3 footage and they look amazing if I do say so myself. So to get that cinematic look, shoot in D-Log, reduce the camera's sharpness all the way down. And if after doing all of that, you still want the image to be even softer, you can grab this mist filter, which I'll link in the description. This not only softens the image, but it also blooms the highlights, giving you a more vintage vibe to your footage. Now, the third issue isn't really an issue at all, but if you're not aware of it, then it could really bother you. And that's the strange quirk with the display. The Pocket 3 has a smart 4.2-inch rotatable screen for both horizontal and vertical shooting. It also has a 3-axis gimbal, giving you ultra smooth and steady footage. But for some reason, when you tell the gimbal to rotate 180 degrees by pressing this little icon, some strange glitch appears on the screen where it looks like the footage is being flipped. Apparently it shows up that way on the display, but the footage itself is fine and isn't really being flipped. Not really an issue, but if you're not aware that it's only on the display, then it might ruin your day when you're out there vlogging or making travel videos or whatever it is that you do. If DJI could fix this with a firmware update, that'll be great. That way people don't get all worked up over nothing. But even if it has to be this way, due to some technical reason that I'm not aware of, you can just ignore it once you know that it's not doing that to the actual footage. Now, if you've gotten any value out of this video so far, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future reviews and tutorials. I appreciate that. The next issue you need to know about is the price. Now don't get me wrong, I think the price of the Osmo Pocket 3 is extremely affordable for what you get, and it's well worth it. The problem is that if you don't buy the correct package, you're going to miss out on a whole lot of value and end up spending a lot more than you should in the long run. So to sum it up, I would highly suggest that you buy the Creator Combo because it comes with the DJI wireless mic for crispy clean audio, a wide-angle lens adapter which helps out a lot when vlogging or shooting in tight spaces, a battery grip which increases the runtime by 62%, a mini tripod, and this carrying case which fits everything inside of it in a safe and organized manner. If you were to buy all these things separately, it would cost you a lot more than you're paying for the bundle. And all these items are must-haves in my opinion. And the last issue is that if you've already picked up an Osmo Pocket 3 and didn't pick up the bundle, and now you're realizing that the onboard mic doesn't give you the audio quality that you want, don't worry, because you can pick up a transmitter to pair with your Pocket 3 for only 90 bucks. Also, if you want to have two transmitters for interviews and stuff like that, instead of paying 350 bucks for the DJI Mic 2 system, you can just buy two individual transmitters for a total of 180 bucks. The only difference is that you won't get the charging case, which is fine because each transmitter can be charged via a USB-C cable. But if money isn't an issue, then it is convenient to have the charging case. Now, if you were to use all the tips and tricks that I mentioned, you're going to get results that are going to come real close to cameras that cost a few $1,000s more than the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, making the Osmo Pocket 3 usable for professional projects like documentaries and films. The only issue that you would have is that while the DJI wireless mics sound a lot better than the onboard mic of the camera, they still don't sound quite as nice as having professional mics, which you want to have for documentaries and the like. Some of the best sounding mics are shotgun mics, which you could boom outside of the frame so that they don't appear inside the shot. To use a shotgun mic with the Pocket 3, just plug it into the DJI transmitter and bada bing bada boom, you have a wireless shotgun mic usable with your Pocket 3. Now in certain scenarios, when you want to move around a lot, a shotgun mic might not be the best option. There is a lav mic out there that, while quite expensive, it is the only lav mic out there that I know about that sounds like a shotgun mic. It's called the Sanken COS 11D, an emphasis on cost, because it costs just about as much as the Pocket 3 itself. Just note that if you purchase it, you have to choose the type of connection you want. So make sure to tell them to wire it for a DJI Mic 2 transmitter. Alright, so you're listening to the audio from the onboard mic of the Osmo Pocket 3. And now you're listening to the audio from the DJI Mic 2 transmitter. And this is what the transmitter sounds like when it's hidden under my shirt where you can't see it in the frame. And now you're listening to a $36 shotgun mic, which I've attached to the DJI transmitter. And now you're listening to the COS 11D lavalier microphone, which I've also connected to the DJI transmitter. And this is what the COS 11D sounds like under my shirt where you can't see it in the frame. I left links in the description to everything that I talked about in this video. So the question is, would I recommend the Osmo Pocket 3? Most definitely. Now keep in mind that choosing the right camera is important, but it's not as important as it used to be, especially with all the new AI tools coming out lately. And that's why I highly suggest you watch this video next, where I tell you about 10 of the best AI tools for videographers, photographers, and other creatives. I appreciate you watching to the end, and I'll see you in the next one. It's Full Line Creative, and I'm out. Peace.